Here is my Nearpod how-to video for my digital toolbox. So this is the page you see once you log on. I'm on my personal school account, so it's a silver user. That type of account has minimum features, but it's still really great that it is completely free to anyone. Okay. So you can see here you have my library. That's where when you create Nearpod lessons or you save them from someone else, this is where they'll be stored. Explores when you can search through the catalog of Nearpod lessons that teachers have already created. That place is an awesome place to go if you're just getting started with Nearpod. I would recommend starting here first instead of starting just from scratch. Okay, the join would be more so for students. They can either join here or they can just enter the code up on the top of the screen. Create is where you would go to create your own Nearpod lesson, and then the reports is all your reports from previous Nearpod lessons that you have conducted in your class. So we're going to start with my library. And I'm just going to take you through a really quick example of something I've created or I've taken from somebody, borrowed it, and fixed it to make it my own. So let's see, we'll do this rates and ratios. This is a 7th grade standard for Texas math. Looks like I took this from Philip Kanierman. It's on rates and ratios, grade 7 warm-up activities. Okay, so it gives them an objective. Again, I took this from someone and I just changed it a little bit to match my needs. So it has a poll. And then on the next slide is where the students will actually take this poll. Okay, it says based on what you remember, which of the following best describes the difference between a rate and a ratio. These are really great warm-up questions for students. I've done this with problems of the day and it's quick, and then you can choose to give immediate feedback. So I really like this because the kids, they don't have to wait. They can find out right away. Okay, the next one would be a collaborate screen. So this says think, pair, share. So now they're thinking. They're trying to just look at this image. It's a draw it, so they can manipulate this on their own computers. Okay, and again, I'm working on a MacBook, so even though I don't have a touch screen, I can still write on this, and it's not that difficult. So one thing that they would see is this number is larger than the number on the bottom, right? So that would mean that it is not equal to this ratio because this number on top is smaller than this number on the bottom. Okay, so that might be something that they can compare with the think, pair, share on here. And again, the directions, I hit them, but you can always bring them back with a little arrow. Okay, here's where they're sharing. Now they're going to actually draw it. So they're given a word problem on the top, and then they're going to draw it here. Now on the draw it feature, they can write with a pencil, highlighter, they can input a text box. If they really want to, they can do a picture, and then of course this is just their erase. Okay, so that's a really quick example of what a Nearpod lesson can look like without really having to do that much work. So again, on the top here, I'm going to go back to Explore. And we're going to look really quick what it looks like on the catalogs. So you can see that they have some featured things up top here. They have some exclusive content. One thing that's really cool about Nearpod is you can do virtual reality. So if you want to take a child to a college tour, you can go ahead and do that here. They have it split up by content area, which is really helpful. And they have it split up by a publisher as well. Okay, so let's say you want to just start from scratch, create your own, kind of mess around with this, play around, see how it goes. So I'm going to go either create your lesson here or create on the top right. So this is your generic slide. You can change the title. You can edit the settings. You can add a slide here. So when I click add slide, I have 3 options. The one that is a premium feature that I won't be able to show you is adding web content. The other 2 are completely available for silver users, which again is that free account. So the add content, you can add a slide and so on. You can add a slideshow. You can import a Sway, which is a Microsoft program, a video or audio recording, PDF viewer, and this one's kind of interesting. You can do a live Twitter stream. The one that I use a lot if I'm going to create my own is add activity. So I use a lot the quiz, the draw it, and the matching pairs. I've used open-ended questions. I haven't used time to climb yet. I'm not familiar. That might be a new activity they just added. They have collaborate, poll, fill in the blanks, and then a memory test. So a lot of different options that you can use to create your own Nearpod lesson. All right, the last thing I'm going to show you on the How to Nearpod is the reports. So obviously these are pretty old. I mean, I haven't done them since last school year. So one thing that I'll go over is this 8.5i progress check. I did it on March 7th of 2019. There were 29 students in my class that worked on it. And if I double click on that, I get this progress check report. So I can see how they did on every single section of that Nearpod lesson. So there was a draw it, and there were students here that maybe this person, she just didn't get it done in time or she dropped out of the Nearpod, but it gives me their score. So I had to grade it and I had to send those back to them. Okay, the quiz, there's no data, the poll, open-ended, the draw it, matching pairs, collaborate, time to climb. So those are all the different options that you can add. On here, I just go to the summary. Okay, so I had a total of 78 answered and 22 skipped questions. Now, there's many reasons why they could have skipped it. I'm not saying that they didn't know it. I might have pushed them on to the next slide before they had time to finish it. Okay, so that's it for my Nearpod how-to.